confidence-aware explanations.
Hey everyone, I'm Krishna Tewari from Indian Institute of Technology, and I'm going to present my work on X-VQA for GI Diagnostics, which is multimodal visual question answering with question-aware, confidence-aware explanations. So, the takeaway message for our work would be that we proposed a multimodal GI-VQA framework using Peligamma 3B and Florence 2. So for Florence 2, we used artifact-aware pre-processing, where we did specular highlight removal and black marks removal. And then for explanation, we did a structured self-probing explanations we generate, like we asked self-probe questions to the VLMs to generate explanations, and then we did confidence estimation to produce clinically grounded, interpretable answers. So the positive takeaway message would be that the system is highly reliable for landmark, instrument, and polyp-based queries and need clear and clinically aligned explanations, while negative would be that the performance notably drops for sparse and weakly grounded questions, mostly finding presence and text presence-based questions, and the confidence generation is mostly token probability-based, so it remains uncalibrated and length-biased. So the motivation of the related work would be that the clinical need, and then the benchmark trends wherein the main optimization was for answer metrics and not for trustworthy explanatory behavior. And then there is a lack of trust barrier because confidence measures and all of those things are missing. So finally, we build a GI-VQA system that not only answers well, but justifies with structured clinical reasoning and quantifies certainty. So basically, it closes the gap between accuracy and trustworthiness. So our approach for visual question answering was we tried two different VLMs. First was Peligamma 3B, wherein we used LoRa PEF-based fine-tuning with NF4-based quantization. And for Florence 2, we again used LoRa PEF-based fine-tuning, and we also added pre-processing there, which is a specular highlight removal and black mask removal. So Peligamma was fine-tuned on raw dataset, while Florence 2 was the fine-tuned on the pre-processed dataset. So for PEF training, the learning rate for Peligamma was 1 e to the power minus 5, and for Florence 2, it was 3 to the power minus 5. For both of them, we kept the flow vision encoders frozen, and the LoRa rank was 8. So we found that Peligamma gave much better VQA accuracy, so we went ahead with Peligamma for the backbone as for Subtask 2. For Subtask 2, we asked 8 different sub-questions for self-probing. The questions are listed below. And then for confidence generation, we used mean token probability across generated applications to generate a confidence score. That is how confident the answers, like how confident the system is based on the answers that are generated. As for the results, the answer reliability is very high, which is 0.90 for both public and private datasets. Rogue is lower because we did not use rogue-oriented supervised training. And then it was robust across all the complexity types, like C1 to C3. It wasn't like the performance was dropping for either of them, or for all of them, it was good. And then this it was the strongest on visually grounded answers. It was clear but partly incomplete, so we can try for completeness in the next iterations. So as for the lessons learned and insight, we would definitely say that artifact removal matters for fluorescence 2, which is a sensitive model and may not be necessary for Peligamma. PEF is sufficient for competitive GI-VQA under budget, but harms Rogue with no original supervision. Confidence from autoregressive scores is interpretable, but again, it is length biased and uncalibrated. And finally, self-probing yields faithful explanations, but we can also go ahead with visual explanations as well. So for the future outlook, we can use rational supervised fine-tuning without losing PEF efficiency. We can try different other VLM backbones. Also, our approach would be to have data augmentation via text-conditioned diffusion, unifying artifact robustness and explanation training. And for hard question types, we need targeted supervision. And finally, we would also include visual explanations for more detailed analysis. So I'm open for any questions that you might have, and you can always contact us on the email ID mentioned below. Thank you.
Again, if there are any questions, feel free to drop it in the Discord or contact the authors directly. And then I think we can wrap up today's session.